I think we're live. We live, everyone. Yes, we are. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful February 3rd, 2025. I hope everyone is having a great day. I'm having a great day myself, and we are joined by Mr. Real Text and Politics.
Oh,
Welcome to the stream, good sir. And there's a lot of breaking news this morning. There's a lot to get into. I mean, holy crap. Trump is not pissing around anymore. And we're collecting victory after victory, so there's a lot to get into. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Again, these are all great ways to support the daily content. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or just want to support the channel even further, best way is sending super chats via the chat. Again, I'll read through as much chat as possible. But usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. And already we got a couple super chats to read through. Let's see. Glitch Evie has been a member for 8 months. Thank you so much. Lord Rhino for 2. Blame Canada. Yes, we'll get to Canada in a second. Crick Mode for 5. I'm going to go a 69% tariff on all wrap transactions if he doesn't stop being late. The wrap community deserves better art of the deal. That's real. I was late this morning, I'll admit that. Alright, K-Cup for 5. I saw Benny Johnson post, and I know he over-exaggerates, but is it true the value of the Mexican peso and Canadian dollar are lowering right now? Yes, that is true. And I'll actually pull that up. Let me get that up. American Nerd for 5. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. It seems like everything's gone wrong since Canada came along. Blame Canada. They're not even a real country anyway. That's real. Glitch Evie for 2. Rap, it's time to deport Satan, or I mean Hillary. That's real. Trissa for 2. Rap, what is going on with USAID? USAID, I should say. We'll get to that also. That's a big story, the USAID stuff. So I gotta pull up the whole, the currency thing, because people are asking about that. Was Benny Johnson, I think, that posted that?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, let me get this up. Let's see. Where are you at? Give me a second, chat. There it is. Here it is. Here it is. So, of course, this is like, to be fair, like, the currency did not crash, like, it did not go 20% down or whatever. But for those that don't know, both the peso and the Canadian dollar, after the trade war started, they both lost value. Now, it was only like 1 to 3%, which is not the end of the world, but, you know, you don't want this as Canada, or especially Mexico. You cannot afford to have your currency devalued like that. Devalued, excuse me, at all. You don't. So, I do think that this was part of the reason that Mexico did bend the knee, and that, for those that don't know, we do got breaking news on that front, but they both are experiencing their currencies going down, which is not good for them. Because funny enough, if their currencies go down and we have the tariffs on them, all that really does is any impact that would be seen on the inflation front, it will be kind of counteracted. But because it'll be cheaper to buy it from Canada and stuff, or from the US, I should say. So you're not really losing anything. So it'll be a double whammy. So not only do we tariff Canada, but we don't really lose anything out of it. So that's why Mexico folded so fast. Plus, they can't afford it economically. And Ari for 5. If the Mexican president doesn't fold, she values her pride over Mexico itself. Well, she did fold. And that's the breaking news, everybody. The Mexican president did, in fact, fold. Can we just get a W chat for Trump, by the way? I mean, it's... How long did
If anyone values their pride over their economy, it's Trudeau.
Yeah, we'll get to Trudeau in a second. But W's the chat, everybody. W's the chat for Trump. I mean, when did the trade war start? 2 days ago? A day?
Yeah, something like that.
And already, the Mexican president bent the knee. Now, Democrats, you're trying to spin this as like Trump bent the knee, but no. What Trump did here was masterful. This is why we reelected Donald Trump. Because of stuff like this. He doesn't piss around. He understands we are America. Our economy is the biggest economy in the world. You cannot compete with that. Canada and Mexico, especially Mexico, they cannot compete with America. Did people really think that Mexico could compete with America economically? Did people actually believe that?
Maybe if they're Mexican nationalists, that's probably
well,
not
we'll
it.
get to that. I mean, that's a whole other story. But you know, the fact is, these countries, I mean, China is scared of us. I mean, China's running to the WTO right now. They are running and begging for the WTO to stop this. It's as if tariffs work, especially if you're America, because guess what? We can afford it. We can take the brunt of any inflation because we can produce the stuff here. K-Cup for 2, Hunt's almost like Trump knows what he's doing. Exactly. Lord Rhino for 5, she should give Beja California over in compensation. Well, I don't think that's going to happen,
I
but...
think it's Baja.
Baja, excuse me. Baja California. American Nerd for 2, Trump W, Canada and Mexico L. Yeah, so... Now, the deal was actually pretty straightforward, and I'm going to pull this up. I think Trump actually posted it on Twitter. Yep, he did. So, Trump spoke with President... Is this Scheinbaum? Is that you say your name?
I believe so.
I think Scheinbaum, yeah. Ben Snakes for 5. I saw a Siena poll that has Trump with a 46% approval in New York of all places. I think open source intel post on an X. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, true.
Yeah, minus 5
in New York. So that Ipsos poll, I think it was Ipsos, where they claimed it was like -12 nationally. It's like they're full of shit. They're full of so much shit. If Trump's positive in New York, and I know in New York is shifting to the right, but it's still voted for Harris.
It's still negative, but like by very small amount.
Yeah, 4 or 5 points. So that's nothing. But yeah, so Trump put this out. I just spoke with President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico. It was a very friendly conversation wherein she agreed to immediately supply 10,000 Mexican soldiers on the border separating Mexico and the United States. So this was a big stipulation. Trump wanted Mexico to do something about the southern border. And Democrats are coping about this. They're making a big deal about, 7 or 5 years ago, Mexico put 10,000 troops on the southern border. Yes, that's true. But that was only temporarily. That was for like 5 minutes, and they left. But this is permanent. This sounds like a permanent thing until the issue of immigration is dealt with. And even then, it's an additional 10,000 troops on the southern border. All right? So, Trump, all he did was put a 25% tariff on Mexico, and they gave us 10,000 troops at the southern border. These soldiers will be specifically designed to stop the flow of fentanyl and illegal migrants into the country. We further agreed to immediately pause the anticipated tariffs after 1 month. And this is a big deal. The tariffs are paused, but not forever. They're only paused for a single month. And this is why I believe this was not Trump folding. Like Democrats, I mean, real text, do you see this? These people are claiming that Trump was, folding here. That Trump actually bent the knee because the stock market went down today.
Yeah, that's... No.
Listen, what actually happened here was the president of Mexico realized that they cannot compete with America. They can't. I mean, if you're delusional if you think that they can. But here's the truth with what happened here. Trump said, okay, you put 10,000 troops on the southern border, and we'll help with the illegal gun trade, I think it is. So that was the stipulation we have to do. So we help with the gun trade in Mexico, which whatever, we'll deal with that. But the tariffs are paused for a single month. Because in this time period, Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, and Howard Lutnick, they're going to meet with Mexican representatives to reach a deal. So there's still a chance we tariff the shit out of them. All we're doing is saying, okay, Mexico, you have 1 month to concede to our demands. Does this really look like Trump bending the knee? I call bullshit.
It really doesn't.
Oh, who joined? Oh, hey, John.
Hello. Hey, guys. How you doing? I noticed you guys were talking about the trade thing. I really wanted to jump in on it.
Yeah.
No. So anybody that doesn't understand what's going on does not understand the basic math of the situation. And that's what I was trying to talk to people about over the past couple of days in various calls. When you look at Mexico's economy, 80%, actually almost 90% of Mexico's economy is trade. And what percent of that is with America? About 82%. And so if you do the math, you can do some napkin math real quick and figure out it's anywhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of their entire economy that relies on sending goods into the United States. It's a similar situation for Canada, except it's even worse because their primary industry they've really screwed themselves over with their primary energy industry in that they are not currently equipped to export it to other countries. They have to trade with America, and they have to trade, well, essentially with a really bad deal with America. So, as screwed over as Canada's incompetent liberal government has made them, both of these countries are just incapable of holding out in a trade war with America. For comparison, in the United States, our actual like trade economy, it's close to a quarter of our economy. So 2/3 of their economy is basically, possibly more. For us, it's 1/4. And the thing is that we have all of the resources that neither of these countries completely have. And we're capable of actually increasing the amount of interstate trade and those things. We really can ramp up production. Even if the whole world cut us off, we would be still one of the most powerful economies on the entire planet because we just have the resources to do that. So it's just something that people should really keep in mind. It's two different beasts. It's not just about the sizes of the economy. It's about what percent of that economy actually is trade, and it just doesn't work.
And I looked more into this, and Tyrone actually talked to me about this, and like apparently they can't even shut off the oil to America because they kind of screw themselves over. It's like, oh wait, there's only one pipeline to the eastern half of the country. It's like, oh wait, it goes through America, so they can't shut it off.
I know that they were planning on making like over a dozen plants in Canada to help refine oil and process it so that it could be shipped on ships and go out to other countries. But the thing is that like I think out of all of the projects that the federal Canadian government was going to participate in, I think Trudeau only finished one of them in the 10 or 9 years he's been prime minister. And like so it's like it's the pipeline, it's their capacity to produce. It's their capacity to produce LNG and oil on their own. Like they've become so interdependent on the United States that it's actually ridiculous. And it shows the fruits of a brain that is basically overdosing on post nation state world globalism, all of that stuff.
Hey, speaking of pipelines, hey Trump, where's our Keystone pipeline, brother?
So the Keystone pipeline, I think, is dead. But so yeah, this is a I would post it on stream, but Tyrone brought this to my attention. Now I did not realize this, but Canada fucked themselves over big time. So actually, let me read some super chats to catch up to them. American Art for 3. Mexico probably relies on cartels for money. You're not far from the truth, for being honest. All right, Anari for 5. A terror war between Mexico and U.S. would be like Pee Wee Herman versus Hulk Hogan. The left thought Pee Wee would win. TDS makes people stupid. Well, yeah. I mean, you cannot compete economically with America, but China can't, for crying out loud. China! And they have freaking billion slaves. Even India bent the knee to us. It's like, if India and China are bending the knee to us and begging the WTO to do something, do you think Mexico can compete? Mexico. Cole Langdon for 2. The president... Oh, okay, I'm not reading that. Chili Kate... Okay. Thanks for super chat, though. Alright, a K count for 5. Oh, to stock market. Literally, any investor will tell you stocks rise and fall. My representative said they go down, but history shows they always go up. Yeah, and it's like if they went back to normal. After Mexico bent the knee, it's like, oh, the stocks are back up. So...
Yep.
Lord Rhino for 10. What's funny is seeing Hispanics claim that the cartels will deal with the U.S. military at the border. The cartels will do nothing to the armed forces. Oh, if they even touch our armed forces, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck to them. Because it won't end pretty for them.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's
so true.
That's the lesson.
Yeah, so
like what Luke said in the chat.
Let's see. What? What did Luke say?
No, what he said in the chat.
What?
Oh, wrong chat. Never mind.
Oh. So,
all right, well, I'll send it to this chat then.
But yeah, so for those wondering what this is a map that Tyrone sent me, and this is like the Canadian pipelines. You notice a problem for Canada? You notice a tiny issue?
Enbridge or Energy East.
Yeah, they had a planned pipeline where they would go through their entire country of Canada and get to the eastern half, but they canceled it. And now they have a single pipeline that reaches the eastern half of Canada.
Enbridge mainline that goes through Michigan and Minnesota.
Yeah. So if they close that pipeline off, half their country is without oil.
And that's just to screw over Minnesota and Michigan.
Yeah! These idiot, and for starters, people understand, Canadian oil's dog shit. It's cheap for a reason. It's not quality like Texas oil. That's a fact. The
Why
oil
are
in
gas
Canada's...
prices? That's why our gas prices are so fucking expensive
Well, I mean,
too.
because Canada... Why do you think they send so much oil to America for cheap? Because it's garbage. It needs to be refined. It costs so much money. It's like low quality oil. That's why it's cheap. Because it costs so much to refine it. And Canada cannot refine it, like John said. They cannot physically refine it in Canada. They don't got the resources to do so. So...
Yeah.
I remember Canada.
What-
Canada literally, they literally. Okay, I can't even think of the term. Pander. They literally pander to their native community so much
Yeah.
that they mandate 2S to be part of their LGBT acronym.
What?
Like I think it's like the government mandated LGBT acronym is like 2S
Oh
LGBTQIA
my
plus.
gosh.
The two because the 2S is for the
Oh, the
natives.
spirit bullshit.
Yeah, that's also why. I mean, that's probably why they canceled the Energy East pipeline.
And something that I really want to make clear, because I just for everybody listening, Canada theoretically actually could refine their own oil, and they could export a lot of stuff to other countries, but they've made it impossible. And if they did retaliatory tariffs, do you know what the most humiliating part about retaliatory tariffs from Canada would be? It's and Pierre Poilievre actually just admitted this morning in a video that he uploaded. I saw it while I was drinking my coffee. Canada interprovincial trading, like between their provinces, is completely non-standardized, non-centralized. They have no agreement on anything. And it's more expensive for Canadian provinces to trade with each other than it is for them to import stuff from Europe and from Asia.
Wait, what? I didn't hear this.
Yeah, so you could go look it up. It's on Pierre Poilievre's YouTube channel, and he explains it for a few minutes how essentially he wants, as prime minister, to make all of the rules way easier so that the provinces can trade with each other. But as of right now, under Trudeau's government, under this failure, laughing stock of a government, if they have to import a bunch of stuff, not from the US, but from other places, and it actually will be an incredible burden on them on specific products that they get from the US because they're so bad at trading with each other, the provinces.
They can't trade with each other, but they think they can. Oh my goodness.
By the way, I just read it. So the Keystone XL pipeline project is dead, like completely dead.
Yeah, because the company that was involved with it, they said fuck that. They don't want to deal with it.
So we're not getting $1.50 gas back.
No, we can just pump more oil in freaking Texas and Alaska.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Canada.
Canada, go F yourself. Olivia Williams for 2, 26 vote PP, poo-poo, 28 vote for PP. Oh gosh, thanks super chat. American Nerd for 2. Aren't the cartels the armed forces for Mexico? They're armed, but anyways. American Nerd for 3. If Canada puts tariffs on the U.S., what should Trump do? They already did, which that's not going to go well for them because their economy, they need us. That's what I cannot comprehend. These people cannot understand that Canada needs America economically.
No.
They cannot just say, oh yeah, we're going to put a 25% tariff on everything made in America. You can't. We can do that because we can just, hey, make more stuff here.
We're going to be winning so much that you're going to get tired of winning.
Hey, Luke.
How's it going, Matt?
Hello.
Hey, Luke.
Caden for 10. How is he folding if Mexico's president agreed to his terms? Liberals can't be this delusional, have no clue what negotiating is. They say this just to say because they refuse to be non-biased. Well, because they cannot accept that Trump was right. Trump's plan worked. It was a risky gamble, but it worked.
I love how people are trying to say that Steinbaum has more of a mandate than Trump, even though Mexican elections are literally rigged by the cartels, so I wouldn't really say that.
What are you talking about? They're totally free and fair.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, sure.
How many of her opponents were actually murdered before the election?
Like 40.
Or yeah, something like that. It was so like crazy. 40. Yeah, no. The one thing I wanted to say to Caden is that the actual nature of what's going on right now has entirely changed because it's not like Trump has like canceled all of the tariffs. He's put a pause on the tariffs for 1 month. And so if she fails to fulfill any of the obligations she promised Trump, or if halfway through this next month, Trump demands something else, it's going to be a really bad situation because either she capitulates, or that economy, which I said 90% trade and 2/3 of their entire economy trading to the U.S. She can either crash the Mexican economy into major recession, or she can comply with every little thing Trump wants. And so really, I think that's what's going to happen is you're going to get 2-3 weeks into this month and Trump's going to demand more from Sheinbaum. And what is she going to do? She's bent over the table. What are you going to do about it? It's really bad. She can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, they should have just accepted this beforehand. They should have just said yes, because now Trump's going to ask for more. Now, what else would he ask from Mexico? That's a question. I don't know. Like,
well, I know one of the primary things indicated in the documents they've released, obviously they want actual help from the Mexican government stopping the drug flow. They want help stopping the migration. The only other thing that I could definitely see happening in Mexico is that they demand the Mexican government disentangle itself from the cartel. And that's a very complicated process, very difficult thing for Sheinbaum to do. But if it's life or death, which it might actually be literal for Sheinbaum if it's life or death.
Her, she has to be careful.
But... So, in that situation, it's really just a question of what happens if we can actually get a Mexican government that operates independently from these criminals south of our border. It'll make great strides towards actually creating a permanent peace down there. So,
yeah. Let's see here. And speaking, let's talk about Canada now, because this is freaking hilarious. So apparently, according to the Globe and Mail, almost half of Canadian businesses are, excuse me, almost half of Canadian businesses plan to shift more investments and operations to the U.S. to mitigate potential tariffs and maintain market access.
Oh yeah, I'd also love to say, can we give a huge applause to the vagueness of the new policy of the local government in British Columbia, who said they will be banning alcohol, not from America, but just from red states. Now, they don't define what a red state is.
I think they just mean any state that voted. I think they just mean any state that voted for Trump.
Bruh.
Like, do they mean any state that voted for Trump, or do they mean like states with Republican governors or Republican legislatures?
I don't think they're thinking that deeply. I just think they mean states that voted for Trump.
What a bunch of dumbasses.
So even a state like Michigan, yeah, they'd be banning alcohol from.
Do these idiots think that's good? And the funny thing about all of this is like, wait a minute, I thought we couldn't rely on ourselves. So you're telling me that America, which is the #1 economy on Earth, we cannot rely on ourselves, but Canada can?
Well, they probably can get backing from China if they really want to.
Well, I'm just like, no, like these people on Twitter were saying that, oh, America, we need Canada, we cannot afford to lose business.
They gotta deal with China. It seems like they gotta deal with China too. Like Trump got like a deal with China as well.
Wait, really?
Yes, I saw that yesterday. Like they're like, there was something with the economics, like something like I forgot what it was exactly. I'd pull it up if I wasn't driving. You know.
All right. There goes Canada's whiskey. That's real. Let's see. Can Trump force Mexico to send me all their tequila? Maybe. Which, by the way, so much for the avocado prices going up. Remember when that was like a thing for 24 hours?
This is the great thing, though, is that Trump's approval is never really gonna tank. I don't think if the trajectory continues, because this is what the Dems do. They fearmonger about every little thing. They say it's gonna be the end of the universe, and then nothing happens, and then they just look like fucking idiots, you know?
Well, that's the one thing about all of this. It's like people.
So Trump's approval is never really gonna like tank, because people are gonna expect everything's gonna go to shit, and then it doesn't. You know?
Let's see. Or Trump is. Hold on. Rap. Talk about Hilario winning. Oh yeah, Hilario won. Thank God. He won easily.
Yeah, he won. Wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. It was like 144 to 35. It was insane.
W. Yeah, I want to get Hilario on maybe on America First Insight eventually. I gotta talk to him about that.
Yeah, he wants to come on. He wants to come on soon. So
Yeah.
we should get that.
I think Luke meant. Oh yeah, I think he meant Panama. Because Panama bent the knee.
There was something with China too, or maybe they agreed to have a discussion.
No. So what Panama did, they told China to go F themselves.
It wasn't Panama. It was something with China. I remember.
Okay.
Like I know the Panama stuff. I definitively remember it was with China, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a CCP bot. I like deliberately remember seeing a post about China. Also, to point out, Trump took out like all the Taiwan stuff from government websites.
I saw that.
Love to see it.
So
Trump is a fellow CCP agent.
So okay, does anyone actually know what that's about the whole the China stuff, like the whole Taiwan policy?
Because it's stupid that we like do this petty thing of like, oh, Taiwan, we don't recognize it, but we do. You suck, China. It's like this dumb thing. Just like don't recognize it. It doesn't fucking matter. Like,
all right. Object clears Canada for 5. Did you see NATO leadership agreed that U.S. should have Greenland? I did not see that. It's gonna happen. Palavir almost sounded foreign election interference with the speech. What? What about foreign election interference?
Oh yeah. So in Pierre Poilievre's, this isn't the statement he made this morning, but yesterday he did like a live stream of I think 20-30 minutes, where he spoke in English and French. And during the live stream, he actually went further than Trudeau or any of the dumb liberals did. And he was like, well, what we're going to do is we're going to interfere in the 2026 congressional elections in the United States. And we're gonna teach them what it means to mess with Canada. And he's doing this obviously as a political play. He wants to be strong to his constituents. He wants like not just a super majority, but a super majority. So he has to be super aggressive. But yeah, no, he's literally was saying we'll interfere with United States elections in his speech yesterday.
So he's gonna get Democrats elected, basically.
Yep.
So Poilievre, he has to do because Canada, because freaking let's be clear, conservatives are winning that race. I don't care what that shitty ecos polls are saying. What's happening is they're just happy that Trudeau's gone, but it's the Biden effect.
Dude, ecos is like the morning post of Canada.
Yeah, so
anyway, I'll be back.
And yeah, so liberals are not going to like lose every single seat now, but they're still going to get crushed. All right, polite rude guy for 2. Trump keeps us up, we give him another term. Listen, I'll say this. If he gets rid of the income tax, at least like 95% of it, I will say fuck yeah for Trump 3rd term. I don't care. If he gets rid of the income tax and the IRS, we're going all in on Trump 2028. So, what's this? Okay, apparently people in chat are saying that Trump just signed an executive order to make a sovereign wealth fund. What's that? Sovereign wealth fund.
I would have to look at it. Let's see.
So, let's see. Lord Rhino for 10. America became the largest economy in the world in the 1890s, overtaking Britain. Over 100 years of dominant economic power, and nobody's come close since. Yeah, that's true. America's been dominant since the late 1800s. But yeah, okay, yeah, it's real. So Trump just signed an executive order establishing a wealth fund.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically we're going to start investing in stuff. I guess maybe gold or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Saudi Arabia did this, and they had like a freaking $1 trillion just sitting there.
Yeah, what's up, guys? It's been a while.
Oh, hello, Poster Tubbs.
Yeah, I've been a bit busy lately, but finally found time to appear on the rap stream. Are you guys talking about terrorists or something?
So we just got breaking news that Trump just signed an executive order to create a sovereign wealth fund.
I know other countries that have done this have it's really benefited them. I think I'm not sure which countries did it. Maybe some Gulf states, maybe like Singapore, but yeah.
I think Saudi Arabia has one. So how would this okay? I don't know how this works. So I'm guessing like we just take our money and invest it. Is this what that means?
Seems like it.
So basically, it's like an indirect. If he buys nothing but gold. If he just buys like $5 trillion worth of gold, can we just count that as our gold reserves? I mean, like, I'm just trying to think, like, what. So how does this benefit us in the long run? I'm trying to figure this out. If anyone knows, let me know. Alright, Ben Cynics for 5. Rapid. RCP's direction a country. Emerson has a poll showing more people think the nation is heading in the right direction than the wrong one. Yeah, that's the first time since I believe, what was it, 2011 maybe? Like 2007? It's been a long time. So, invest in oil and gas companies. Talk to a coin. Yeah, so I'm trying to find the executive order. Because I'm curious what it actually says. Maybe where's the executive order list at? Anyone know? Is this whitehouse.gov?
Yeah, usually you find it on whitehouse.gov. It might take them a minute to put it on whitehouse.gov.
I want to see like what it actually says. All right. What happened in South Africa? Oh, we'll talk about South Africa soon. All right. I can't find it, but the closest we got is Caroline Levitt talking about it. Alright. Alright. But yeah, for those that don't know South Africa, Trump, he indirectly mentioned the Boers in South Africa.
Yep.
Listen, people are blackpilling, yet you're the president of the United States talking about the Boers. Is it the first time ever any president has mentioned them? Ever?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I know he didn't say word for word the Boers, but like, it was everyone knows what he's talking about. Yeah, there's a certain demographic in South Africa that's being harassed. Gee, I wonder who that is. I wonder.
This is a great development. Yeah, South Africa is absolutely screwed. It is a complete, like, basket case of a country. Like, I don't even know why they're like a main part of BRICS. Like, if I was BRICS, I'd replace South Africa with Saudi Arabia. And I'm not pro BRICS or anything. I'm just saying.
Well, because South Africa, like, you would think, like, oh, they're, like, I don't freaking know, honestly. What are the...
Well, they're trying to repeat the mistakes of Zimbabwe, and we saw how quickly Zimbabwe destroyed its own economy to the point where, like, the Zimbabwean, like, $1 trillion bill is now, like, a piece of history engraved. Like, people will talk for centuries about the $1 trillion Zimbabwean bill. And, that's the whole thing, is if you take productive, happy members of your society and you deny them their property rights, and you give their land over to non-productive people, nothing's going to happen. There's no magical plants that grow out of the ground. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Adrian Augustin, he lives in South Africa. Yeah, what happened was Trump talked with the Boers yesterday. He mentioned them.
No.
So
yeah, so he talked about the Boers, and you guys have to understand it's a giant shift. We've been in this whole kind of stew ever since apartheid, where we don't ever recognize anything going on in South Africa, and we've let them do whatever they want. And it looks like that they've taken too many wrong turns in the foreign diplomacy department, and now we're actually going to hold them accountable for, I guess, essentially trying to destroy the lives of white people in South Africa.
Yeah. And now you got people talking about, like, that UN paper from 20 years ago about the Great Replacement. People are talking about that now. It's like, yeah, there's definitely been an over to window shift, a big one, not just a small movement. I mean, for crying out loud, now I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but there's a non-zero chance the Supreme Court gets rid of Obergefell. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but like, I know it's pushing for it.
I don't think that's likely, because like I feel like legally you may have a case for it, but I feel like the Supreme Court, like, I feel like the judges and like the Republican party as a whole does not want to touch that issue. And honestly, I don't really want to relitigate like gay marriage in 2025. So
yeah, I would say just wait a little bit, but what's that sound? I think it's real Texan, is it?
I think it's somebody's.
I think there's like a party going on somewhere. Oh,
okay. Let's see.
Yeah, there's loud music. I gotta go somewhere. All right.
All right, Canada thinks they have the U.S. Over the barrel with their oil. We're the only ones with the ability to process their oil. Exactly. These idiots don't understand that we control their oil. Okay, yeah, you said it to us, but we refined it for you. What do you think's gonna happen? Just, oh yeah, you guys gonna magically refine it? I mean, I even know what the trade stuff that John was talking about, where they can't even trade with each other. I mean,
Back. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah, they literally can't trade with each other. And the reason I think it's important to point that out is because it further highlights if there's some sort of, empathetic woman you're speaking to, or like some sort of really estrogenated man, and he's like, poor Canada! We're ruining Canada, guys! I love Canada! Well, listen, tell them it's their fault. They made their economy this stupid. It was completely intentional. They did everything possible to screw themselves over, and this what consequences of your actions? Meet Canada. This is their time to taste the bitter pill that they have crafted for themselves. You really cannot let anyone feel bad about this. They did this to themselves, and now, I mean, they're about to get new leadership that hopefully makes their country more self-reliant, more independent, but honest to God, you can't, like, this is one of the dumbest things for a country to ever have a problem doing. And yeah, they're not like Australia, where like there's really nothing Australia could do except for be dependent on China. Canada decided like openly, oh, okay, you know what? We're gonna like cripple our largest sector of our economy, energy, for brownie points in politics. And then we're going to make ourselves so that we can't trade with each other. And then we're going to make it so that our biggest trading partner, the person that like are the lifeblood of our economy, we're going to make it so they can screw us over at any point in time whenever they want. And they did this to themselves. That's my point.
Yeah.
They did this to themselves.
Did they screw that? Like, all they had to freaking do was just say yes to Trump. But now it's like, if they're not going to back down right away, Trump's going to ask for everything. He's going to say, all right, you know what? You're a territory now. Your territory. Deal with it. And what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do about it?
Yeah, like to be honest, the main thing that screwed over Canada it is like Justin Trudeau. Like 10 years ago, before Trudeau took power, like when it was Harper, like Canada was like doing very well. It was like America 2.0. It wasn't perfect, but it was like, people used to say, like, I remember 10 years ago, even in the early to mid 2010s, everyone was like kind of toy-jacking over, for lack of a term, over Canadian healthcare, and people were saying, "Oh, Canada's like a better version of America," and all this crazy stuff that happens in America doesn't happen here. And now you look at Canada, and it's like a worse version of America. Like Justin Trudeau is worse. Justin Trudeau is like the worst leader in the Western world. It's since the 1960s, at least. Like he is that bad.
Also, the last world leader that's still around that was elected before Trump, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
He was elected in 2015, I believe.
Well, like Democratic, like obviously she's been around Trump's entire time, but like not democratically.
And also the Western world, like Putin and Modi and Xi have been around, but they're not Western leaders. So yeah.
All right, couple super chats, read through. Play right, Rude Guy for 2, band game marriage, we down. Again, wait a little bit. Just wait a while. Just.
No. I don't think that's a hill like we should die on, personally.
Look, anyways,
just let people do what you want. You don't have to like it, but like it's none of our business. Right, I'm sorry.
K-Cub for 5. Let's be honest, most liberal men and women only like Canada over the US is because their free healthcare and because it's the best system. Well, their healthcare system used to be kind of good, but now it's garbage. Because Trudeau's incompetent.
But they're also like insanely socially progressive.
What?
They're also like
speed limit. What the hell?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like they're also like insanely socially progressive.
Oh yeah, that's Canada.
I feel like Canada, if they had like, I don't know, Denmark style immigration policies, it could still maybe work. But like under Trudeau's immigration policy, which is probably the worst in the world, it is not going to work.
Dude,
it's
last minute when Trudeau decided to last minute put in an immigration moratorium out of nowhere just to like attempt to save his political brand, but no one.
Yes,
he's so dead that people didn't even realize he did it. But it is kind of funny he did that.
This is what people understand. It's like you could either have mass immigration, or you could have a big safety net like Denmark does, and you can't have both. It's clear Canada proved that. They try to do both, where it's like we have a huge safety net for everybody, and we have mass immigration. It doesn't work because you cannot just import 30. How many people did Canada import?
Like last like 4 years, it's at least 5 million.
Yeah,
like,
it's like you can't do that.
35% of Canada's foreign born. Like before Trudeau took over, it was like less than 20%, and they were much more assimilated. Like the post Trudeau immigrants in Canada like don't assimilate at all. I mean, they're also all like fake international students.
Pakistani and Hindus like fighting in the street. The Sikhs and Hindus, like it's like an ethnic tension ground between them.
Yeah,
like
absolutely. It's like and like like you have people with ties to legitimate terrorist organizations, like actual terrorist organizations. I'm not like repeating any propaganda points from anyone in Canada. Like that does not exist here, but it does exist in Canada. And you have those people influencing like the Liberal Party and their talking points, which is pretty crazy. It's like, why is Canada even getting involved in this stuff?
It's like the NDP has a Khalistani as their leader. I know. Jagmeet Singh.
Yeah, it's insane how Canada's even getting involved in this stuff. It's like, what does Canada have anything to do with like attention in South Asia? Like, there should be zero correlation, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that the thing to highlight over all of it is that Canada is the first and earliest country in the globalist scheme to actively choose to destroy itself. Well over a fifth of its population is foreign born, and even more are second and third generation immigrants. And at the end of the day, because there is no cultural hegemony and there's no way to really reassemble cultural hegemony, you're ultimately going to see the sovereignty of Canada dissolve, I think, over the next 40 or 50 years or so.
Quebec's gonna fuck off eventually.
And the reason I bring this up, it's not just to be like, oh, like wish casting or forecasting anything. It's to tell you, like, why do you think Trump wants U.S. banks to be open in Canada? Why do you think he wants U.S. companies to infiltrate Canada? It's not just because we want to operate in Canada and we want their business. It's because he wants influence over Canada that would otherwise go to China or India or someone in Europe. He wants to have the influence over Canada. He wants there to be a North American alliance. He doesn't want this crap where, Canada basically becomes a proxy state of 10 different foreign countries. That's just dumb.
Yeah,
it's a terrible.
Well, I mean, he also
situation.
wants Canada to. I mean, he also
literally-
wants Canada to become a part of America. So,
I mean, I don't think Canada will become a part of America. I don't think you'd really want that for like a lot of various reasons. But I agree with John Rose, and I've been saying what John has been saying for a while. Like Canada, as we know it, will not exist in like 2050 or 2060 at this current rate. I don't think it becomes part of America, but what it becomes, I don't know. I think Quebec will probably separate if this, kind of garbage continues.
Well, Quebec's gone. They're gonna force a referendum.
The pro-independence is at like the highest it's been since the 90s when they voted. When they almost voted for independence, it only failed by like less than a point when they voted for independence in the 90s, and they're like at the most pro-separatist since then. The separatists are going to win the government again there. They're going to get the vast majority of seats in Canada's parliament in Quebec.
Quebecois is probably getting second place in like the entire legislature.
Probably not anymore after Trudeau fell off. But if Trudeau stayed in, they would have gotten second at seat count.
Someone brought this up in chat. So at this point, I think Pietsu said Canada's finished average house cost is 35 times the yearly income. Holy shit.
Right. Polyev was talking to Jordan Peterson, and in that conversation, he said, the normal house that, a middle class woman in Canada could afford, at the age of 25, 20, 30 years ago, today, she will afford the same house at the age of around 52, 53. So when you think about that in real substantial numbers, that's part of why the country collapses and why the sovereignty dissolves, is because people actually fail to be able to sustain larger families, or sustain any family, because they can't afford the houses to raise the kids in, and they can't afford any of the other crap. It's really bad, and you don't realize, they were the most successful middle class out of the G7 in 2014. They are now the poorest and least capable of owning property in the G7 just 10 years later. It's a really sad state of
I know we make
affairs.
fun of Canada, but I feel off. Like when you look at downfall of Canada, it's kind of sad because it's like, yeah, they used to be a good ally, a good friend for us, but now it's like they're openly hostile. They screw us over at every turn, and now they're about to collapse upon themselves.
Well, to be
It's-
fair, they are generally a good ally, but there have been parts during Canada's history where they've not been a very good ally.
Oh, yeah.
For us. Like Pierre Trudeau, who's Justin Trudeau's dad, like was basically openly anti-American during the 70s. So it's like not new. And Pierre Trudeau is really the one who introduced this like kind of new national identity for Canada, which was more multicultural, but more based off of nothing, but not being America. And so when you see Canada and base their entire national identity off of not being America, you can look back to the 70s and blame Pierre Trudeau. So yeah.
I will say too, historically, the liberals have been a lot more hostile to America than the conservatives have been. The conservatives have always been like the more pro-free trade with America kind of side. That's like when USMCA was being negotiated, like Brian Mulroney, who was a conservative, was the big, or not US, that would have been NAFTA, excuse me, wrong one. When NAFTA was being negotiated, Brian Mulroney was like the conservative who was very pro it, and the Liberal Party opposed it. So, and the NDP's been even more anti-America than the Liberals have been.
All right, Kanan for 5. I hope Trump goes out to the media bias and how they gaslight / pressure for their viewers into demonizing politicians they don't like. It's a real issue. Yeah, but how can you enforce that? You just say like, oh, you can't like say bad stuff about politicians or what? Like, I don't know.
The primary thing that I think the journal class, we put in rules for the journalist class that they would have slightly greater protections against libel, slander, defamation claims than the average citizen would. And we did that because we wanted a free press, and we've accidentally created the opposite. And so I think what really the most important thing you could do to try address the free press issue, where the press is trying to actively destroy the current administration, is to make them more susceptible or equally susceptible to libel claims as the average person is. It's really important. I think a lot of people don't realize that they have those protections. But I mean, if they didn't, why do you think that they can go on TV and lie 80 times within the span of like 10 minutes? Like, why do you think they're capable of doing that? And it's because we tried to give them protection so that news stations would continue running. But
I think, sorry to interrupt, but I think the United States is about to withdraw from the UN Human Rights Council.
Whoa, wait, what?
Ooh.
Wait, what? That's gonna
yeah, I
set some
think
people
they're.
off.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's.
Yep, that's Politico's reporting it now. Bro.
Amazing.
Listen, again, these things, they always have nice names to them. The Human Rights Council, all right? But anything related to the UN's garbage, all right?
You guys do realize that the only 2 countries in the world that prevented the Human Rights Council from declaring food a human right, which means that the United States would have to provide food for dozens of countries, whether or not we were compensated for it. That was, in fact, the United States and Israel were the only 2 countries that actually said no to that.
Again, they always say nice stuff like, "Oh, guarantee human food." Like, yeah, everyone, we want to make sure everyone's fed, obviously, but it's like that means the United States pays for it all. That's what it came down to. It's like the whole the Paris climate crap. It's like, again, oh, it's a good idea in paper where it's like we clean the environment up, but the climate accord is different standards for different countries. For example, America, we got shafted. While China and India, they're like, yeah, you have 500 years to accomplish this carbon goal. It's like,
in America, you have 18 hours.
Yeah, and you have to give us $100 billion a year. So, all right, K-Cup for 2. Never forget Canada, Geneva Conventions. Oh, yeah. Look up Canada in World War I. For those that know, they know.
By the way, should we talk about the DNC stuff?
We'll get to that in a second. Out of snacks for 5. Thank you so much, good sir. Mike for 2. Canadian home may cost $10 million, but free healthcare. Well, should healthcare? I mean, at this point, it's so bad that they recommend killing yourself in Canada. That's every joke. It's just like, oh yeah, you need treatment. Just go shoot yourself.
Yeah, sorry, YouTube. We mean unalive yourself.
Yeah, sorry, unalive. Excuse my French. Funny enough, huh? Because Canada.
Yeah.
I'm here
Excuse your Quebecois.
Right.
Anyways, DNC.
And hold up, we got breaking news. I think I saw this earlier. Yeah, so apparently a top leader of the cartel just got arrested.
Yeah, we already went through that like an hour ago or something. Yeah, like an hour ago or something.
Oh yeah, I mentioned before stream, but yeah, I just realized I forgot about it. Yeah, for those that don't know, we mentioned before stream. A top leader of the cartel got arrested. This was minutes after the Mexico bent the knee.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah.
I'm starting to wonder, like, did Trump make it like a behind the closed deal where it's a behind the scenes deal where it's like, okay, if you secure the border, we'll help the cartel, their leadership. Is that possible? Because I think
probably.
Pete Hegseth was talking like we're gonna do operations against the cartel. So
there is like a circle.
Rip Cartel Bozo. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways.
Yeah, so the DNC. What a shit show that was.
Yeah, so I made a video on this yesterday and Saturday, but holy shit. Okay, who here watched the DNC or at least parts of it yesterday?
I didn't watch any of it. I mean, I kind of followed along with it.
I should say hear about it.
I mean, what did they do? They like started the whole thing with like a land acknowledgement.
Yeah.
That's the leftist version of the Pledge of Allegiance or the national anthem. They can't do any of those because they're racist, so they got to do the land acknowledgement instead.
All right. John, do you hear about the do you know what the DNC on Saturday?
Yeah, I didn't go directly watch it. I don't think I could bear to, but I saw something very reprehensible. I saw a disgusting photo from the vice chair, the new vice chair, third vice chair of the DNC. I saw David Hogg making a Nazi salute. I disavow. I disavow.
Oh my gosh! No. Listen, the Democrat Party, they're screwed. They're just fucked.
They're so great.
So Ken Martin is the new DNC chair, and I guess honestly that probably should have been expected. He was endorsed by Tim Walz, and I think he was already a vice chair of the DNC before.
Yeah, so you went. Listen, is it an upgrade? Sure. Is that really saying much though? Jamie Harrison was just so bad that anyone with a pulse would be better than Harrison. I mean, Harrison was just worthless. But let's be honest here. The vice chairs they elected might be the most incompetent 3 I have ever seen. You're telling me they couldn't find anyone better than this?
People.
I got some stuff in Texan.
Sorry.
Texan.
Yeah, sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. But guys, so who ran for the vice chairship? Anyone know? Or were these only 3 people that ran?
I don't.
I think there were probably like several dozen that ran, but I think one of them was Adam Frisch.
Oh yeah.
Who only got 5? He only got 5 votes.
So you're telling me the one guy that came close to winning a competitive House seat, he didn't get votes, but they give the Malcolm Kenyatta
because Adam Frisch is the white man.
Yeah. And so they
there was a non-binary candidate that completely flopped.
Well, yeah. Speaking of the non-binary stuff, you guys see that they had to pause their elections because not enough non-binary people won.
It wasn't diverse enough. Yeah, so they basically have the biggest priority for electing the vice chair is representation.
Yeah. I mean, this is
diversity.
Insane. And now their vice chairs are Artie Blanco, who I have no clue who that is. Anyone know? I still have no.
Artie Blanco is a Hispanic activist from Nevada.
Okay, I can assume.
So she was chosen because she's a Latinx woman.
All right, then of course we have Malcolm Kenyatta again. There's just look.
He's black. He's black and gay.
He's just black and gay. And everyone knows the infamous David Hogg. Oh boy.
He's a white guy, but he's young and he survived a school
He's a
shooting.
white guy that openly detests having kids. By the way, someone found that out. I mean, it's like, I gotta pull this up.
Admitted he will never have children because he hates America.
No, that's literally what he says.
Yeah.
I gotta pull this up.
Wants the NRA to be designated as a terrorist organization. That was the view he's had ever since Parkland, by the way. That's not been new.
Yeah.
And supported defund the police.
This is a real set of tweets, by the way. I just pulled it up. I'm gonna put this in chat. So this psychopath, who again, listen, what he did after that, what happened at Parkland is just maybe the scummiest thing ever. Listen, for those,
I probably can't even say it on YouTube, but I think there was a classmate of his that basically admitted that he wasn't even in school when it happened.
Well, we don't know for sure. We don't. That's a
yeah,
rumor,
we probably can't say it because YouTube probably protects him.
Here's what I'm saying about David Hogg. What that scumbag did, he used his dead classmates for political gain. There, I said it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating. He runs the first thing he does, runs to the media. It's like, wait, what? And he started his political career from that.
And now he's basically tied for second in command of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Up your smoke, moralist.
Oh, hello, Yay.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Yay?
Good
No, David
Yes.
Hogg is an evil person. He's a genuinely horrible person. I hate him.
He's a psychopath.
Okay, I've looked at this. Do we have confirmation that he was never
We don't
actually in?
We don't know for sure. That's
well, I do want to discuss the speculation that it's literally just the testifying of one of his classmates. I put it in general. This person claims that they were a senior in high school at Parkland. He said that with this clown, when the Parkland shooting happened, I distinctly remember he wasn't even at school when it happened, and afterwards he was too busy hanging out on CNN when we all went back to school. He was, and this person claims that he was planted there and that he sold his soul while me and my friends grieved. Also,
he became a CNN darling right after.
Yeah. So again, we don't know for sure if he was at school or not. It doesn't matter. It's a fact. The first thing he does, he runs a CNN. That's the first thing he does.
I was gonna say, I don't care. Well, listen, like obviously, I do want to know if he was lying about even being there in the first place. But even if he was there, I mean, okay, you're in a fucking tragic event that could have been prevented if the FBI had done their fucking job, right? And and your response to that is to make a career off of going on to media and talking about the experience and trying to get guns banned in the country and essentially becoming a political pawn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, whether you were there or not, you sold your soul at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a scummy thing.
And he went to Harvard, and I think they just accepted him because he's an activist.
Yeah, and no, his SAT was like 1220 or whatever.
Yeah, his SAT score was complete shit.
Wait.
But they still accepted him because he was an activist.
There's no way he got into Harvard on a 1220.
It was like
1220. Yeah, they did. They made an exception for him because he's an activist. Because he's a famous activist.
I think I got a higher score in the PSAT, and I was in 8th grade, and I get 100 less points on it.
That might actually be one of the very rare occasions of affirmative action actually benefiting a white person.
David Hogg had an SAT of 1270. 1270.
The score than I wasn't. And I honestly I could have tried. I got a better SAT score than that. I didn't get into Harvard. I didn't even get into.
You should have tried. I should
have tried, so I could have gotten into
I was going to say, well, I didn't
to be honest, I never even took the SAT because I went to community college first. So.
I took the SAT, but I used my ACT because it was so much better.
I should have taken the ACT, but I never did.
Yeah, the ACT is good.
ACT is pretty good. Yeah.
All right, I'm American Nerd for 2. Why do you need 3 people for one position? Diversity. Mike,
diversity. Yeah.
You know they're cooked when Hogg is her best choice. No, friggin' Blanco's the best because you know nothing about her. So
yeah. So the reason they have free DNC vice chairs is because they have it was diversity rules. You need one woman, one man, and then the third can be any gender. So preferably they would prefer a non-binary,
I
but
was gonna
they
say
didn't.
they
But
would
they didn't
prefer a
have one of.
They
non-binary.
look
But
good
they
gay
didn't have.
guy.
But they didn't have one available because they didn't get the votes. So
All right.
whatever.
Cup for 5. Amazing how the DNC is having issues with representation, yet Trump casually plays with gay men adopted as their theme constantly, live even. Yeah. I mean,
So basically, so the position that Hogg got was supposed to go to probably some non-binary Hispanic guy, but because that guy didn't get the votes, it went to David. It went to David Hogg because he was basically the last man standing that had any sort of chance at winning.
Yeah.
So there was a chance that David Hogg could have probably gotten denied a seat at the table because he's a white man.
All right, and okay, so I brought the David Hogg tweet. This is a psychopath that's run the DNC. He's run the top people of the DNC now. He said, and I quote, "Like me, I'm never planning on having kids. I would much rather own a Porsche and have a Portuguese water dog and golden doodle. Long term, it's cheaper, better for the environment. It will never tell you that it hates you or asks you to pay for college." This is a real tweet from him from 2 years ago.
Amazing. Wait, didn't this guy say he wasn't running for office because he was politically toxic and one of the most radical people in America?
Yeah.
In 2018, he said he would run for Congress when he was old enough, which would have been 2026.
I think he should run. It'd be really funny. It'd be really funny if he ran for like.
Here's the thing: he probably would have, but Jared Moskowitz is running for re-election. Yeah, if Moskowitz were going to run for governor or senate, Hogg would probably have ran for that seat.
I was gonna say, I thought he was running for governor. Or
Moskowitz
is he not planning it anymore?
Yeah, no, he's not. He's running for re-election.
I was gonna say, I mean,
because he's basically the only Democrat that could win that seat at this point because he's moderate enough.
I was gonna say, in a blue, he probably would be like, "Oh, we have a chance. It's a blue wave," and you know,
David Hogg, especially if because they're one of the guys that probably would have ran for that seat is a Republican who's the father of a victim, and he probably would have won. Yeah, I think it's like Andrew Pollack. He would have went scorched earth on Hogg for basically using his So he basically would have went scorched earth on Hogg for basically using his daughter as a political pawn.
We got breaking news on Ukraine. So according to Trump, I want Ukraine to give U.S. rare earth materials.
Wow.
So he's demanding that if Ukraine wants to even consider getting any more foreign aid, they have to give us rare earth materials.
Amazing.
The art of the deal.
The Orange Man.
The Orange Man. So I mean, like, can Ukraine really say no? Can they actually say no?
I mean, we're already kind of their bitch anyways, so.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, he's just going all out. I mean, like, what rare earth materials does Ukraine have? I don't know for sure. Like, what do they got?
I don't know exactly, but probably something that would be useful for us. I mean, it's the same reason we're taking Greenland, so.
Well, freaking everyone knows Greenland's just freaking.
Titanium, lithium, beryllium, manganese, gallium, uranium, zirconium, graphite, apatite. They actually have quite a few, if you believe it.
So we're going to make Ukraine the fifth.
And Trump wants to make semiconductors. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because like they're pretty much they're all in Taiwan. I think there's a semiconductor facility by Samsung in Austin, Texas. So
now there's one in Arizona. So
there's one in Arizona. Is there one in Austin yet, or is it being built?
I think it's a Samsung or maybe Tesla semiconductor facility in Austin.
Yeah. So okay, with what basically what we're doing is we're gonna say F you to Taiwan. That's what I think's gonna happen. Like, oh, you're by yourself. Sorry.
And I don't know if Texas Instruments makes semiconductors. I could be wrong.
The only thing Texas Instruments makes is calculators and missiles. All right, buddy. They don't make semiconductors.
Wait, missiles.
What? Texas Instruments is literally part of the military-industrial complex.
Okay,
they make missiles.
They don't make missiles. They make missile guidance systems.
Oh, same freaking thing. I mean, like, are you serious?
I'm not.
So you
kidding.
probably have some like the Palestine kids that would boycott a school just for using TI calculators.
It's kind of like how one of the I can't remember which one it does. One of the companies that makes washing machines also makes the machine gun on the A-10 Warthog.
Samsung?
No, I think is it not? is it
Or General
I think it's
General Electric?
I think it's General Electric. Yeah, General
Yeah.
Electric makes washing machines and the machine gun on the A10 Warthog. You know the fucking Burt? That's them.
Yeah, so
What the hell?
apparently, Trump is basically saying if Ukraine wants any peace or any deal, they need to give us everything.
I love strong arming other countries.
The art of the
love
deal.
it.
The art of the deal, everybody. The art
Well,
of
The
the
art
deal.
of the
Ukraine
deal.
has to. If they want to survive another year, they got to. What are they gonna say? No.
Yeah, well, if it's either that or the entire country becomes part of Russia.
Yeah. So it's like either you give up parts of eastern Ukraine and you give us a bunch of materials, or you're dead.
Unlucky.
All right.
I mean, Biden would have probably taken Ukraine in as like the 51st state if he really wanted to, but
I'd have to look into it. Apparently, we gave more aid to Ukraine than every other state except for California.
holy fucking shit.
What?
I'd have to find the numbers again, but
Actually, how much did we give Israel compared to Ukraine?
Oh.
wait. Let me tell you this because I looked this up too. The
Because
amount of people,
because I think
the amount of-
we've probably. Oh, sorry.
the amount of people that bitch online about how much we give to Ukraine. How much we give to Israel. I looked this up. We gave about 3 times as much to Ukraine in a year than we have given to Israel since it was founded.
Since 1940,
Since the I want to say it was, when was Israel founded? The late 50s, I
It was
think.
48.
1948.
Because I think it was the Palestine first, but they actually split up, I believe.
It was I think it was British Palestine,
Yeah,
and
they
then
split
and then
Israel. Yeah.
and then he had a war, and then there was Israel, and then so on and so forth.
Let me look real quick.
Okay, yay, fine. Then I'm intrigued by how much. All right, American Nerd for 3. What tech company doesn't make military stuff? I don't know. It's just funny to think like, oh yeah, people make your calculators or freaking making.
Unironically, probably Tesla,
Yeah, probably Tesla.
but I don't know.
And space, I don't know. SpaceX may have a contract with Space Force, but
They probably do. I think
yeah,
they do.
They do.
Okay, I lied. Okay, that was the problem. It wasn't inflation adjusted. Adjusting for inflation, in the last 80 years, we have given Israel about $300 billion in economic and military assistance. We've apparently given Ukraine about $180 billion.
Oh, I guarantee it's double that. I guarantee with what's coming out of USAID, which I want to talk about real quick. I guarantee it's probably triple that.
All right, so adjusted for inflation, we have given Israel more than Ukraine.
Yeah, but it's over 70 years.
Over 76 years
but
compared to 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, so that's like half of what we gave to Israel. And we've given, that much money to Israel in like 75 years, and we've given that much, like half of that to Ukraine in 3.
Yeah,
Okay, well, this one, military aid is about 160 billion to Ukraine, or to Israel, versus 70 billion to Ukraine.
Again, half.
About half. But
In
then again, that's
3
over
years,
the course of 3 years versus.
in 3 years compared to 75.
Yeah, freaking Zelensky right here. Yeah, John posted in the chat. It's like he basically admits they don't know where the money went. He's like, oh, I don't know what happened.
It probably went to his
bank account is freaking Switzerland. Probably
went
to all his war-torn clothing, or what's supposed to look like war-torn.
Yeah, it just, oh my gosh. But yeah.
Because I mean, he's like Fetterman, he doesn't wear suits.
Yeah, so he's claiming
he's supposed to be the average man.
He's claiming $100 billion of it's like just gone. But yeah, so anyways, you guys see what the U.S.
So that's why we have to give him $100 billion more.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the USAID stuff because this I knew nothing about USAID until 2 days ago. I did not think it was possible for a government agency to be this corrupt. Well,
to be honest, I've never heard of USAID either.
Well, I didn't either because no one knew what it was 2 days ago. But
yeah,
what's the whole?
And now everyone's against it going.
Well, because you freaking
because of Trump.
Yeah. So, what's a full acronym for it? It's just USAID.
I'll look it up.
USAID, for those that don't know, it's
the Agency for International Development.
Yeah, so basically it's a Ponzi scheme where we give money to these organizations. They basically allocate our foreign aid, kind of. And, well, people looked into it and holy shit. You're telling me that no one noticed that 50 billion a year? Was it 60 billion?
I think it's 50 billion.
Yeah,
50 billion.
50 billion a year just vanishes. And apparently only like 1% of it goes to actual organizations. The rest are going to these suspicious groups like these charities that are ran by people in Congress, people in the Senate, people in the federal government.
So probably some gay rights charity in like, I don't know, Pakistan or something.
Well, no, apparently the worst offender was like a Lutheran charity, I guess, or something like that. I don't know, but like people.
Or what is it? What is it? What is it like that Catholic charity as well?
Yeah, so there's like, okay, when I say Lutheran Catholic, I'm not saying the actual church, or I'm not saying the actual religion. I'm saying there's these organizations that are Catholic or Lutheran that are not ran by Catholics or Lutherans, and they do very corrupt things, but they avoid any investigation because they're religious, supposedly. And that's what's happening right now.
Well, one of my favorite interactions from this whole debacle is the USAID scandal with Bill Kristol. Bill Kristol, I'll post a screenshot of the entire interaction because it's really funny overall.
Oh yeah,
so it starts off. Yeah, it starts off with Bill Kristol saying the deep state is far preferable to the Trump state, and then Data Republican shows up and says, "Hello, Mr. Kristol. For you, the deep state is preferable because you are listed as the president of Defending Democracy, EIN," and then she lists his like barcode in the system. The reference number, which is an indirect beneficiary of USAID through Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors. You are exposed. And then she posts the graphs that show where he's getting the money funneled to him from USAID. And then like another account like posted it. It was like, wait, why is USAID giving millions of dollars to Bill Kristol randomly? And then Elon Musk quotes me, "Not anymore."
Yeah.
It's so good.
Bill Kristol, the Republican that turned into a Democrat because Trump wouldn't bomb brown kids.
Yeah. I mean, like, this entire exchange, and apparently it's like, it's not just one group, it's like thousands of groups, and like, there was an organization that they helped fund the impeachment of Trump. And so it's like,
of course they did.
They went to Rudy Giuliani like 10 years ago. It's like, yeah, America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani, we're going to write an expose on him. Quick, we need $20 million. It's like, wait a minute. Why do they need $20 million to write an expose on Rudy Giuliani? Why?
They have to cite their sources.
Their sources. And they just made up their sources. So, yeah. All right. Did you hear about the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy? Oh, yeah. He's illegally harboring a migrant.
Actually, he's probably making it legal in his state, and then maybe he'll force everybody else to do it, and then...
Well, that's what I'm worried about. Where it's like, because they're going to try to get around the Third Amendment. Is it the Third Amendment?
Yeah, the Third Amendment, because that only applies to soldiers.
Yeah. Well,
that only applies to quartering soldiers in your home. It doesn't apply to sheltering migrants in your home from ICE. Or or forcibly or basically forcing the citizens of your state to do that.
I mean, I've brought this up for the sake of other people, but you guys understand it's a felony conviction if you actually are proven to have been harboring an illegal migrant. Yeah. And also, there's extra charges because, slavery is illegal in this country. So if the migrant being harbored is being used as a slave, that's extra charges on top of the felony conviction. So
that's probably a life sentence right there.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I don't know.
I remember there was like this one like white liberal that went on like NBC and she said, "Yeah, I had like 6 illegal migrants living in my mansion and they were doing free labor."
I died.
It's like, yeah, that's a joke.
She admitted to slavery. Yeah, she admitted to slavery.
Yeah, she went to national TV and said, "Yeah, there's like 6 illegal migrants in my house. They live in my basement or whatever, and they're so helpful. They help clean dishes. They did my lawn for free." It's like, wait a minute.
You shouldn't be saying that out loud.
Yeah, didn't we make that illegal like 150 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, just like, of course, it's like a white liberal
from like what, Massachusetts or something.
From Massachusetts or whatever. It's like, what? Can you just imagine? Yeah. It's like you go there. It's like she has slave labor.
Oh, but she's good because she's trying to protect them from ICE.
Yeah, we made slavery illegal 160 years ago. But we have white liberals that want to bring it back.
And then, I want to make this a broader point. This is one of the consequences of globalism, because everybody in America, we were all content with the cultural idea that we weren't going to enslave people. But, we started interacting and trading with business partners across the world. And over and over again in this country, when we bring Indians over, wealthy Indians, we will find that they brought a maid, or that they bought someone's daughter, or that they did something else. And we've had conviction after conviction after conviction where people from Southeast Asia bring slaves with them to America, and then we do it. And so what I'm saying is that I think that over the time of our global business leaders interacting with them, they're like, well, wait, if they can have slaves, why can't I have slaves? And so now all of our white liberals have decided they can have slaves, and now we just have to put our foot down and be like, you know what? Actually, guess what? You don't get to have slaves in the United States.
The fact that this is even like an issue now, it's like we're fighting over slavery in the year 2025.
Guys, this is proof that Democrats are the real racists.
So true. So true.
It's 160 years, and we're still arguing about this because now that's what this is. It's just slave labor.
Remember, guys, the demon KKK rats are the real, they were the slave owners in the 1860s, and
They were the slave owners. This is true.
The Republicans were the ones that tried to stop them. So, demon KKK rats are the real racists.
All right. Let's see. White liberals never change. Oh gosh. All right.
The libtards.
The libtards.
The libtards.
All right. The party of slavery is truly returning. That's real.
So true. So
hey, Raph, I'm still concerned with that long-term Arizona will still be a swing state. It could be, but
probably will, but
it's looking.
It might just. It's probably just going to be like North Carolina 2.0.
Yeah, or it's like it might flip once in a while, but most times Republican. Was Murphy serious? Who freaking knows?
I don't know, but what I do know is there should be a federal agent in this guy's house, yesterday.
Yeah, what do you hide? Who's your basement there, guy?
Who are you hiding? Who are you hiding up? Who are you hiding in your garage?
No, I think you're gonna say addicts.
Who are you hiding in the garage, buddy? What do you got there?
Oh my god.
It's my friend. I don't know. What about?
All right. Brian Schatz has just announced that he's gonna stall all Trump nominees until USAID is up and running again.
Wow, the guy who I'm pretty sure this guy hasn't voted for a single nominee. Give me a second.
I don't think
he voted for Rubio.
Yeah, Rubio.
Because everyone voted for Rubio. That was it.
Let me see if this guy even voted for Burgum.
Yeah, so okay. Dad, a Republican. Look up Brian Schatz. Did he freaking have any dealings with the USA?
Yeah. Just like call every single time you see someone complaining about USAID,
look it up.
Call up Native Republican.
Look it up. It's like if you any scumbag that's involved with USAID.
We did vote for Burgum. Okay.
Oh, he did?
Oh.
Apparently.
That's interesting. Oh, apparently I think Andy Ogles has introduced a bill to abolish OSHA.
I saw that.
Abolish OSHA.
Oh my gosh, water filter salesman, you are harboring illegals under your floorboards, aren't you? Oh gosh.
Listen, I actually agree with abolishing OSHA. You know why? Because those fuckers. Listen, you guys know how the legal limit to drive while drunk is 0.08. You want to know what it is for operating a forklift at work? It's 0.00. It's bullshit.
Bro,
it's bullshit. No, you're a coward. I should be allowed to operate a forklift while hammered off of whiskey.
I don't think
and if you think otherwise, I think you're a bitch. I think you're a bitch, honestly. Rap, you're a bitch. You're a bitch.
Thank you.
If you oppose, God forbid, a man, God's drunkest driver must not be stopped just because he's at work. I'm just saying.
All right, I gotta go. I got class in a little bit, so I'll see y'all later.
I'll see ya.
All right. Let's see. Can you talk about the voter registration in New Jersey too? Yeah, I'll have a video up later today. But
yeah, that is crazy. That's really good.
New Jersey's gonna be swing state. I can't believe I'm saying it, but yeah, we'll have a video on that in like 2 hours or whatever. So probably right after the stream. Yeah, this whole USAID stuff, it's like this is what we know about. That's the worst part about all this. This is what we know about. How deep does this even go?
Well, I mean, the people who are actively working on it have implied over and over again that they don't think they've even scratched the surface. And, as much as this may not be able to impact the overall trillions of dollars in the budget, you have to understand it's actually a simple principle of you as a human being paying taxes to this government, why your money shouldn't be abused in this way and exploited in this way. And ultimately, your life is going to improve because these US aid funds, they're going to people that hate you and actively want to destroy your way of life. And so I think that's really the most important thing to really hammer home about this is that we've been hollowing out America and we've been paying the people to do it. Either foreign countries or domestic people or domestic politicians, and they've all been feeding. And the way that Data Republican and I guess even Elon Musk kind of inferred it to be is like we've basically been giving universal basic income to the most corrupt and disgusting individuals in our country. Um, and when you think about it that way, they're living off of UBI. They're living off of the government, and you have to make your own way in life. It's inherently unfair to you, and that's why you should support the reform of USAID and whatever else they find in the system. Let me tell you when they start. I'll tell you something. Here's a sneak peek. In a few months, whenever they start auditing Health and Human Services, whenever they start auditing the Obamacare, I'm gonna tell you something. From my experience, they're going to find infinite money, not just going to like random people that want free healthcare, but to people here illegally, people here trying to prop up foreign businesses and trade, people really trying to screw you over. And they're gonna find a lot of fraud there, and they're gonna find fraud pretty much maybe in every single corner that they look. I would estimate.
I mean, this is just gonna get like because it's so corrupt, and this is again, this is after what 2 weeks, and they already found how much money? 50 billion already?
Yeah,
just 50 billion like that.
Yeah.
All right. Oh gosh, this image perfectly represents Trump and the Mexico stuff. Trump wants a foreign leader to do something. Trump announces tariffs. Left claims tariffs won't work this time. Leader caves and gives Trump what he wants. I mean, this has happened, what, 10 times now? Just the past week, it's happened with Panama, happened with Mexico. Was there another one? Canada soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally probably happening in an hour. I believe Trudeau is going to sit down with Trump at 3 p.m. So
I swear, if I end this stream and Trudeau announces the Canada has announced they will join United States as a territory, it's not gonna happen. But...
No. In a couple hours, you'll hear Canada capitulating probably on a few points. I don't know. Like, think about it. Trudeau is facing one of the most terrifying elections of like his party's entire life, and they have no way of getting out of it like in a good way. So they have to somehow resolve this conflict, and if they don't, like I could imagine liberals like getting like almost like virtually no seats in Parliament.
Yeah. Sorry, go on. No, sorry.
No. That was pretty much what I was gonna say. I was just saying, like, if they're probably gonna have no seats in Parliament.
Yeah. So Colombia, that's our country. That's right, Colombia, Bethany, also.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. All right. At this rate, Doge will probably find $1 trillion by 2026. Yeah, that's what Musk said. So their plan is right now the deficit's at $2 trillion, I think. Right.
Yeah.
Their goal is they want to cut Doge is going to try to cut $1 trillion, right, in a year, and then the rest is either be through economic growth and other actual spending cuts. Because what Doge is doing is they're just going around and looking at like these illegal contracts. These are not allocated by Congress. They're just somehow mysteriously, they're just freaking allocating it. It's a fourth branch government, the administrative state.
Yeah.
So, not fun. Not fun. All right, K-Cut for 2. Trump 2025, drain the global swamp. Well, that's what he's doing. I mean, he's draining the swamp, not just in America, but everywhere. It's like, oh, if you're not going to do your damn job, we're just going to force you to.
If you discriminate against the Boers, we're stopping your foreign aid. That's what we just did to South Africa.
I'm beginning to think the sacrifice of 2021 to 2025 was worth it for this. I agree. if we actually like get rid of, listen, if Trump can actually deport, let's be honest, 50 million illegals. He's not going to, but if he could get rid of half of them, you know, that alone's worth it. And then hopefully get rid of the income tax. Hopefully, yeah, get rid of a lot of things. Get rid of a lot of things. Let's see. All right, I think that's kind of it for everything. I think we didn't miss anything, unless I did. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
No, just at the end of the day, things are changing so rapidly that it's hard to know exactly what the world will look like at the end of this, and that's why you need to tune in to the Real American Stream.
I agree.
Because we give you all of the updates.
This is the most reliable source for conservative-leaning news in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but if you think you know what's going to happen, you're fooling yourself. But I think at the end we all can conclude big change is coming and it's already here. So stay tuned and let's see what happens, guys.
All right. Anyways, folks, I think we're ending the stream here. There will be a video out about the New Jersey stuff in probably an hour or two. That's again that for those that don't know, voter registration is going nuts in those states. But yeah, I think that's it. We shall see you guys in the next stream, video, or wherever you see us at. Godspeed.